Deion Sanders and Colorado now the prohibitive favorites to win the Big 12.
Look at him!
Look how happy he is. Mike officially will have to buy a Shedeur Sanders jersey and wear it on the podcast if Colorado makes the college football playoffs.
That's a big if.
This was a bet. I mean, they're even money right now. They're
it.
even money to win the Big 12, and they're now the favorites. So I want to quickly do a little Big 12 discussion. You know, for a while you had Iowa State up there as the favorite.
Everyone knew
They
that.
fell off a cliff, lost back-to-back games.
Yeah.
BYU, then the 6th-ranked undefeated team last week, dropped to Kansas. So what I want to talk about is Colorado right now. They're even money to win the conference. Then you have BYU and Arizona State, plus 310 and plus 350. And this is, this week is the game to decide it. They play each other. So the winner of that game will play Colorado, most likely in the Big 12 championship, unless Colorado, loses back-to-back weeks, which I don't think we
It'll just
plan
be
on
this
happening.
week. It'll be a sweat.
This week will be a little
3
interesting.
point
But
favorite,
Mario, you've been on Colorado all season. You love Shedeur. You
He's
love
known
Travis.
exactly how to bet them every game.
How do you feel about this team? Do you think they do actually win the conference and make the playoffs?
I think they win the conference. I like their chances against a BYU or Arizona State. And like Ryan said, this is the only sweaty week. They're going against Kansas. 3-point favorite.
Kansas is on fire.
4-win Kansas.
But it was in their last 3
I
or 4
know.
games against.
Let's temper on fire.
No, but it's exactly what I said last week. Colorado, the way their team is trending, they're trending up right now. They're catching momentum. That's all you need late into the season. That's how you want your team to be performing. BYU was just barely hanging on. We saw them scrape by 2 weeks ago, and then last week they finally lost a game. So it's perfect. I love it.
Mike, I think you're a little less enthusiastic on Colorado.
I hate Colorado.
We know you hate them, but what do you think when you see these odds that they're even money to win the conference?
I mean, you love it.
I definitely don't love it. I think most people pretty much just have them weighing out the conference, probably because of BYU losing to Kansas. But in my personal opinion, I think BYU is still a really formidable team, especially after the game. The running back, the quarterback, and one of the linebackers all said that they pretty much went into practice that week, not really giving it as much focus as they usually do because they had just come off a big win the week previous. I think it was just a spot for Kansas last week, and I think BYU is still a formidable team, like I said. Yes, they have played their games close, but at the end of the day, the thing that really matters is a win.
Yeah,
and they got a lot of those. They were doing what they needed to do. My only question, I guess, for you guys also is, do you see a world in which if Army beats Notre Dame, takes Notre Dame out of that playoff running, that there's 2 Big 12 teams, and then it's, even if Colorado loses, it's both the runner-up and the conference winner?
I don't think a 3-loss Colorado will not be in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Impossible.
no chance.
3-loss Colorado won't be in the playoffs, and I don't
even
think
if their loss is in a conference championship, because like we said,
Ole Miss is over.
Ole Miss.
Tennessee.
Tennessee. There's a ton of teams.
I think all the French teams. I mean, honestly, even if you have a 2-loss Miami, if Miami doesn't win the championship, they put them in way above Colorado with 3 losses.
Yeah.
I think BYU with 2 losses, if BYU makes the conference championship, is definitely out as well. Just because they did have a bad loss to at the time 3-win team, now 4-win Kansas.
So at that point, Boise State would take their place in the
Boise State's
higher
in.
rank.
Boise State's in.
They get the bid.
Boise State's in.
Oh, the at-large bid for the 5th,
The guaranteed bid for the non-power
no matter
4.
what.
Ryan, so Mike likes the BYU plus the 310. Mario's all over the plus 100.
That must mean.
Are you ever looking at Arizona State plus 350 here as like, hey, BYU has better odds than them. Maybe they think they match up better against Colorado, but Arizona State is favored against BYU this week. They win that game, they're in against Colorado.
No, I'm not looking at Arizona State. I'm hammering Arizona State.
Ooh.
I love Arizona State. I've been riding them. I think as of late, they've been getting real hot, and they have a really good team where they know exactly their identity. They run the ball well. They make short passes. Scatterbo is unbelievable.
Scatterbo.
Their defense is all right. There's nothing crazy. They give a lot of points against them, but I mean,
They look great last
they've looked unbelievable, right now they're favorites against BYU. So I don't like that. Betting on BYU makes no sense to me because they're already favorites. Arizona State's probably going to win this game. This Colorado-Kansas game is going to be tough. I still think Colorado pulls it out. Kansas is just hot, good spot for Colorado. But it's going to be one of those games where it's just going to be a spot for Arizona State. And I think when they play in the Big 12 championship, I love Arizona State the way they're playing. Their identity is so perfect. Like, they run the ball hard, short passes, they don't make mistakes.
I mean,
all right defense.
Is there a team in college football less talked about than Arizona State right now? I mean,
it's hard.
If you look at every conference, right? You talk about the ACC. I mean, people talk, all the way from Miami, SMU, Clemson. You got all three teams. SEC, you're talking 6 teams in the mix.
Pretty much everyone.
When you go to the Big Ten, you have 4 of the top 5 ranked teams in the conference. So you're talking all 4. I mean, in the Big 12, we've kind of been pick 'em, choose 'em. Like, for a while, it was just, Iowa State, and people were talking BYU. Iowa State fell off, then it's like BYU, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, there's Colorado. Arizona State has never been in the conversation.
They've been on fire as of late.
They live in the shadows.
Yeah,
I love it. Those odds,
it does feel like one of those. This is the conference to do it.
Yeah.
If there's going to be a team where no one talks about them and they just come and they're, the 4 seed in the bracket, get a bye, it's going to be Arizona State.
Oh my God.
But no, I don't think that's going to happen.
Oof.
I love Colorado. I've been liking Colorado actually since preseason.
Yep.
They were my preseason pick to win the Big 12 at crazy odds. I think they were projected to finish like 15th out of 16 or something ridiculous. They were like second to last. And I've liked Colorado all throughout the year to win the Big 12. I really, really think this team can actually compete with some of the better teams. I would love to see an Indiana-Colorado matchup because Indiana has yet to play a ranked team, not just beat a ranked team. Yet to play a ranked team.
We'll see that this week.
Colorado's played a few. And so, I do like the way that Colorado's playing. I think they have the most talented players in that game. And I think there's a couple matchups, if they get a Boise State, if they get an Indiana, if they get a team that sneaks in like whoever the ACC champion is, that would actually be tough because they have the bye. I'm just saying the way the playoff is structured, for years it was always, if we only take the top 2 teams, maybe the best team we're actually leaving out at 3. If we only take the top 4, there's a slight chance. Like last year, for example, where Georgia didn't get in, a lot of people like myself were like, hey, Georgia and Vegas would be favored against every single one of these teams. Maybe we're not getting the best team in. There's a 100% chance with a 12-team playoff. The best team in college football will be in this.
Yeah.
And Colorado's going to play the best because they're not going to – it's not like they're going to have a bye. So they're going to – unless – Boise State upsets Georgia.
What I'm saying is you could see a lot of situations where there's like a Boise State, Indiana first round or a Boise, like one of those, and then they go to play Colorado. Like that whole bracket is like, are any of those teams fantastic? But no, yeah, there you have it. Colorado is the favorite, but the Big 12 is definitely still way up in the air.
Mike's coming in on a horse with a Shador jersey.
You did say you could get on a horse.
Get on a horse with the jersey.
Get on your bike.
If we win the SEC championship and we get the first round bye.
It's a big if.
You riding on the horse. We have to film off site.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
I love it.
Yeah,
Shador Sanders, throw up the watch. Shador, Travis Hunter, looking good. I like Colorado.
Colorado.
Ugh.